Join me right now back on the show is Bellator middleweight contender John Salter. What's going on, John?
Not too much. Just getting ready for this fight.
Good, man. Well, over the summer, there was probably a fight that you're paying close attention to, which was the main event of Bellator 223. Rafael Lovato Jr. fighting Gegard Mousasi. He got that win, got the title. Did you agree with that decision?
Absolutely. I thought that I think it was a no-brainer. Lovato put it on him for 3 rounds. He had a couple of rough rounds, but I saw some people were trying to argue that Lovato lost the second round. He almost finished him in the second round. Or no, one of the rounds Lovato lost, he mounted him and almost finished him with elbows before he ended up losing it. So I think he had some. He really showed how good he is. I thought that was a great decision.
Yeah, he's had an incredible run so far, especially winning that title earlier in the year. After that fight, Mousasi was throwing around a lot of accusations about Lovato. What did you think of the situation?
I mean, I'd love to say all kinds of stuff, but I think he's being a baby. At the end of the day, Lovato beat me because he's better in the third round than I was, and Lovato beat Mousasi because he's better than he is. You can say whatever you want. You can throw around all kinds of accusations, and you be a professional. Stop complaining about it and go out there and fight.
All right. Well, you returned from your first loss almost 5 years, man. You've been on a tear, and you took out a dangerous opponent in Chidi Njokuani in the first round. Getting back in the win column as soon as possible. How beneficial is that for you mentally moving forward with your career?
It's huge. It's hard. It's hard after a loss because it's all you can think about. So getting back out there, getting a win, it just makes everything better, and especially being able to get a quick turnaround like that, I was real happy about.
But then you took almost a year off, from competition. Did you feel like you needed to take that time off?
No, that wasn't me wanting to take a year off. That was just having trouble getting fights and getting something to happen. I don't know the answer to it, but I was trying to fight. I was trying to get a quick turnaround after that fight, and it just didn't work out.
Were you training through the whole time, or did you take some time off? What was going on?
I relaxed over Christmas after, I fought Chidi right after Thanksgiving. So I relaxed over Christmas, and then I came back and jumped into a training camp pretty much. I was hoping to fight before I went to Thailand. My wife and I went to Thailand for 2 weeks in May, so I was wanting to fight before that, and that didn't work out. So as soon as I got back, I jumped right back into training camps. Several of my teammates were fighting. So I've probably, since that Chidi fight, I've probably put in 3 training camps since then. So I've been in really good shape. This is probably entering, into training for this fight is probably the best shape I've ever been in, 7 to 8 weeks out because of that.
Yeah, I saw that you did take a trip out to Thailand. Was that a good time for you to just kind of not think about fighting and get away from everything? Or did you get, I think you did get some training in out there, right?
Yeah. We had a good time. Went out there, taught jiu-jitsu for SWAT Ministries, who do a lot with human trafficking. And, we did spend a week doing that. And then me and my wife just spent a week hanging out down in Phuket on the coast. And, it's beautiful down there. Did a little training, a couple different places out there. Had a good time, but nothing too hard, just to kind of get away from, that day in, day out grind for a little bit. You need that every now and then so you can jump right back into it.
Did you go anywhere else, to train? I'm not talking about Thailand, but any other locations, maybe in the U.S. or anything like that throughout the last year?
Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Charlotte now at Jimmo with Jeff Jimmo. He's the head coach there. A lot of good fighters there. We for a long time I had a lot of great training partners here, but I kind of ran my own camps. There wasn't a great, him here in Wilmington. There's not a phenomenal, all around MMA coach out here. I've got a boxing coach and, got great training partners, like I said, but I've been pretty much running my own camps for a long time. And the Lovato fight showed, that third round didn't go the way it needed to go. And I think that showed that I got to get back to having a coach. So I spent a lot of time in Charlotte working with Jeff Jimmo. I got back with with a strength coach that I haven't had in a while, and I think it's made a big difference.
other than, like you said, you're in the best shape of your life, heading into this fight, what other benefits have you had by having the coaches come in and having the strength and conditioning coach helping you out?
I'm always a hard worker. I don't have to have somebody tell me to work hard, but like anybody else, you get into your comfort zone. You want to do your thing, and it's so good. Number one, to have people making me do things that I wouldn't normally do on my own, and number two, Jeff is just so good at putting new things together. And for a long time, I was working at getting better at what I do, and I'm back to working on new things now, and I think that's huge. It makes a big difference.
Your next stop is Bellator 233, your second straight main event. Does headlining feel any different for you rather than being, lower in the lineup?
No, I mean obviously it's great. It's fun to say you're the main event, and I think it shows that all this hard work's paid off. But at the same time, it's really nice when you fight early in the night and you get it over with, and then so that's the one thing that sucks about a main event. It makes for a long day.
Costello van Steenis, was he the first option for you when you were returning?
There had been a couple of things thrown around that didn't ever seem like there was anything set in stone. And Costello made a post tagging me in it saying, he wanted to fight me. And he was a young, hungry guy. I can respect that, and he's a good guy, a good fighter. So it seemed like a good idea. And my manager kept saying they're having trouble finding fights for me. And I said, well, if this guy's calling me out, see if they want to make that happen. And seemed like a week later they came back with it. So I think it's good. He's 12-1, I believe. I think realistically he's 11-2. He lost to Honeycutt, but he still fought a heck of a fight against Honeycutt. He's not an easy guy to handle. He's pretty good everywhere, and he's like I say, he's really hungry, up and comer. So I think it makes a lot of sense.
So basically, if you cannot fight the top three guys in the division, you're comfortable facing the prospects with good records then?
Exactly. I've already tried to fight Machida, and by the time we had any idea what was going on with Gegard, he was already lined up to fight Machida. And I knew they weren't going to give me a shot at Lovato right away. So I knew I needed to. I got to stay busy. I want to fight as much as possible. So a guy. I'll tell you who I really wanted to fight more than anybody was Carvalho. But it just looks like that fight's never going to happen. I've been trying to get that fight for years now. I just don't think it's ever going to happen. So, Van Steenis makes a lot of sense. So I will stay busy. If I'm going to stay one of the top guys in the division, I got to keep beating people. So I'm happy to take any fight that's in front of me.
It seems like Carvalho, he moved up to light heavyweight. Didn't he just fight last week at light heavyweight?
Yeah, that was his, I believe his first fight at light heavyweight. He fought Chidi a few months ago and won a decision against Chidi, and then went up to light heavyweight. And I don't think light heavyweight treated him too well.
Yeah, it didn't seem like it from his performance. Now, going back to the Machida and the Mousasi fight, was that fight underwhelming to you?
I didn't see it. Sorry if you're hearing all this. My dogs are all over the place right now. I didn't see that fight, but talking to a couple people that have, I've heard that it was very close, could have gone either way, and that it wasn't exciting. Some guys are hard to fight. Machida's a hard guy to fight, and you either got to pretty much sprint at him or sit back and wait. So, it's hard to blame that on anybody. Machida's just a tough guy to plan for.
Now, you said you went through 3 training camps. This is basically your 4th training camp of the year?
Yeah, that's probably about accurate. Because I kept just thinking something's coming, so I better start getting ready. Because I was saying if something comes up on short notice, I'm ready. So I think it was a good year. I think it's a year I got better.
Other than the coaches and the strength and conditioning, was there anything else that you focused on separately?
I would say that just being with Jeff so much, where he's given me new stuff to work on, and I think that was just a big change. I think every week I go, I'm getting new stuff to drill, new things to work on. I just come back and I've got great guys in Corey Crumpler, Joe Selecki, Jamie Pickett. These guys that are good, tough guys that I can drill with, and I can really stuff all the time. And then I get back out there at the end of every week, and I got Chase Gamble, Brian Barberina, Scott Holtzman's there, Ricky Rainey, Empa, great group of guys there to drill it. So I think it's really changing up a lot, giving me a lot more tools to work with.
You go in there in the headliner, you get in there, you get a great win. Do you expect to come back at the end of this year? Because that Bellator Japan card is coming up on December 29th, and they announced that they're going to have a 3-on-3. 3 Bellator fighters are going to face off against 3 Ryzen fighters. Are you interested in that?
Absolutely. If that's an option, I'll definitely take it. I think that'd be great. I got to get through this one before I think about anything else. But I like fast turnarounds, and there's not a whole lot that would make me fight right after Christmas, but something like that would for sure. Yeah, it's hard to train through the holidays, but we're professionals. If the right opportunity is there, I'll do it.
One last thing before I let you go, there's many different types of competitors in MMA. Do you, at this point in your career, do you consider yourself a martial artist or more of a prize fighter?
I think, a martial artist. I think there's, I'm a guy that goes out there with a game plan and a backup game plan. But, if you took away the sport, I'd still train. I'd still be working, to be technical. And I don't like being out of the gym. So, I'm not a guy that's just going out there to bang, going out there to try and be technical and do everything right, So I think you're definitely right. There's 2 different types of people, and I don't think one's necessarily better than the other, but I would lean towards being a martial artist.
All right. Well, I'm excited for your return. November 8th, Bellator 233, Thackerville, Oklahoma. It's going to be awesome, man, to see you back in the cage. I want to see you get that rematch, man. I think that's going to be a different fight when it happens.
I think so. He's a tough guy. I know he's getting better himself, but I think that's definitely one that I can make go the other way. But I hope to get there. Hope to make that happen.
All right, man. Thank you so much, John, for the time, and good luck on the fight and in your future.
All right. Thanks so much. Great to talk to you.